Today we're going to look at custom and concept sneakers that I feel Nike and Jordan Brand should be releasing that would benefit the brand. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you're having a great time out there. Hope you're all looking after yourselves. Today I'm looking at concept and custom sneakers that I feel could actually benefit Nike and Jordan Brand, because there's a lot of customs and a lot of concepts out there that are absolutely amazing. But before we look at that, please do like, follow, subscribe, come and chat to me. Let's have a conversation. Let's break it down like we always do, because we're gonna actually go into some detail, look off some absolutely amazing sneakers. But before we do that, please do also check out the Shoe Dog podcast with me and the bro 808 Kicks here. We'll talk about sneaker drama, sneaker news, sneaker bad behavior, because we always take that to sneaker court of public opinion. And please do follow the bro 808 Kicks ATL. Go and follow the bro, go and show some love and support, and also do the amazing things that you guys keep doing to hit your goals, hit your targets, and always basically hitting all of your objectives for the year, so you can stay awesome, because I want you to win. We all want you to win over here, because we want you to be awesome. But today let's look at some of these concept and absolutely beautiful custom sneakers that I feel Nike brand should kind of adopt to actually release to make the brand excellent. So let's take a look at some of these concepts and customs, because there are some amazing concepts and amazing customs. I'm going to kind of break it down into different categories. First of all, let's start with some customizers, the famous customizers that we know renownedly always bring it. And I do feel like Nike and Jordan Brand need to kind of get some of these customizers in-house, because some of the ideas and some of the concepts of these customizers is absolutely amazing. And when I say absolutely amazing, I'm going to break down three major ones that I know about there, but there's absolutely a lot out there that I feel can bring so much to the table. And when we talk about concepts, when we talk about customs, when we talk about materials and execution, this is where it's at. This is what we all love to see, and we've been seeing this over the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, because it is absolutely awesome. And we had that massive trend with customizers coming through early on, I think post 2015, 2016, when they absolutely blew out the park just before COVID. We know of these remarkable customizers. So let's take a look at some of these customizers, because I'm going to present some of the actual customizers on screen so you guys can have a look. But let's take a look at some of these designs, because first of all, let's start off with Sue Surgeon, because we know Sue Surgeon brings a lot to the concept, a lot to the plate, and we know he's done a lot of customs in terms of Jordans as well. So this one we're looking at on the screen is the Jordan 4 Travis Scott olive variation with that pimply cactus effect. We first saw this a long time ago. He's actually done a lot more customs in terms of the Jordan 4 with this actual kind of aesthetic, but it brings a new concept and a new template into the equation, and it just kind of blows it out the park. In my personal opinion, the quality is absolutely amazing, and I do feel like Sue Surgeon should be up there, or Sue Surgeon should be working with Nike brand, and it just brings so much to the table. And let's go into this next one, because this next one is absolutely remarkable. When we talk about off-white, when we talk about snake skin, when we talk about python skin, this is where it's at. And I do believe that executing a premium sneaker like this and making it a bit more rarer to get in terms of the Nike and Jordan range is absolutely phenomenal, because it does bring a lot to the table. It does bring that quality as well, and it does bring a lot more into the equation when you've got customizers that actually want to kind of express themselves. And that's what I think Nike's been lacking recently. I do believe that they could get some of these actual customizers in-house and get some of the ideas and give them like custom sneakers, or actually create a separate lane for custom sneakers and actually allow them to just grow and actually breathe within the brand, and not like kind of take the aesthetic and run with it own selves, because it just means that Nike just has a refresh, and it absolutely brings so much to the table. And next up is another brilliant silhouette. We've seen the homage to home. This is the shattered backboard Jordan 1 homage to home. It is absolutely dope. You've got the 2.0 and the 1.0 shattered backboard all in one with a Sue Surgeon. And guys, when I tell you about quality, even though this sneaker is worth, or I kind of think it retails for like £3,000 to £4,000, if you kind of brought that in-house, if you brought the manufacturing and kind of allowed the manufacturing to be more streamlined, it might reduce the quality somewhat, but it kind of just allows the customizers to be in-house. They give you the ideas, they give you ideas after ideas, and you just let the actual, you plant the seed and let it grow. And that's what I believe with this actual colorway, with this actual silhouettes, and with the customizations that Shoe Surgeon does, he can bring a lot to the table. Next up, we're going to go to Johnny Kicks, because basically let's have a look at some of these excellent sneakers, because we've got an Air Max 1 off-white canary yellow, which is absolutely dope. This is the custom that Johnny Kicks has done. Shout out to Johnny Kicks for some of the excellent silhouettes, and we're going to go through 3 or 4 of these sneakers because this is the first one, and I bet you any Air Max guy which will actually see this would love this sneaker, and they would absolutely go for this. In my personal opinion, one of the best actually executed off-white Air Max 1s that he's converted, because he's trying to bring a colorway, and we see the canary yellows, we're trying to bring that colorway back onto a different silhouette, and we're going to go back into that later in this actual video. But this is an absolutely dope custom. And then moving on swiftly to that, there is a Waffle Sakai collaboration with the Sean Weatherspoon 97 Air Max 1. This is dope. The colorway, the corduroy look to this sneaker is absolutely dope. Not only do you actually take the colorway onto the sneaker, you take the actual materials and bring it onto the sneaker. This sneaker custom is phenomenal. And when we talk about phenomenal sneakers, and we talk about custom sneakers, this is what we want to see. Like, the consumer wants to see this. The people that actually buy sneakers and love sneakers pretty much want to see stuff like this come out from the brands, because it just makes it fresh. I know sometimes it's a bit awkward when you bring colorways back into another silhouette, but this is gorgeous. Me personally, I think this would actually sell really well, and it just revives the Sean Weatherspoon line. It would have been better if Sean Weatherspoon was still with Nike, but it kind of gives another layer, like it's almost like a layer upon layer upon layer of different flexibilities to that silhouette to actually let it breathe and grow as a custom, which is absolutely dope. And then we got another custom from Johnny Kicks, which is this T-Rex Travis Scott Union variation of the actual T-Rex Jumpman Jack, which is absolutely fire. This has been recent on Johnny Kicks' actual Instagram. Go and check out the Shoe Surgeon on Instagram, go and check out Johnny Kicks on Instagram, because that is an absolutely dope concept, and I would actually get that because I do love the actual T-Rex or Jumpman Jack actual silhouette, and the colorway absolutely bangs. This is what I mean when I talk about Nike and Jordan Brand kind of hiring these customizers, because when you do hire customizers, it brings so much complexity to the brand, it brings so much different ideas to the brand, and customizers kind of like sneakerhead that want to see something unique, want to see something different, but want to see something epic. And this is why I believe unique customizers like Johnny Kicks, Shoe Surgeon, and the Shoe Cutters, which we're going to get onto next, are absolutely dope. But next, moving on to another variation, and I've been seeing this a lot, and I think this is absolutely epic. This is the Jordan 1 Calls. There was rumors about Nike producing another Jordan or another Jordan Calls. This would be absolutely dope. To bring it out actual Jordan 4 Calls, colorway, etching, design, quality of the material back onto a Jordan 1 is absolutely phenomenal in my personal opinion. This is epic. And if you wanted to revive the Jordan 1, this is how you do it. If you wanted to revive a Jordan 1 silhouette or any other silhouette, this is how you do it, guys. This is how you do it. I think this is amazing. I think this is absolutely phenomenal, and I do believe that this would absolutely hit it at the park, home run, 100%. Moving swiftly on, guys, we're going to look at Shoe Cutters. Basically, go follow the Shoe Cutters on Instagram. Nike's been looking at the actual Wu-Tang dunks or high dunk highs releasing. There's another variation, guys. There's a Jordan 1 low. You can do it to a dunk. This is a Wu-Tang dunk or Wu-Tang Jordan 1 low. Absolutely phenomenal. It's got Hate and Peter piece at the back of the sneaker. It's got the Wu-Tang at the top where we normally find a Wings logo. This is phenomenal, and they've also done another variation, which is the Jordan 3 Wu-Tang. This is fire in my personal opinion. If they release this, if they customize a sneaker, or if Jordan Brand released a Wu-Tang on another silhouette, it'll absolutely bang. This is fire. This is why feel like that Nike and Jordan Brand need to do to like basically bring that creativity back to the brand. It's all about creativity, and we talked about this on the Shoe Dog podcast before. It's all about creativity and the creativity process, the marketing, the creativity process around the actual design and aesthetics, and not having the marketing and the actual production line and the sales lead that, because this is why we actually see a downturn. And Nike's got a bit of a downturn recently. We heard 20% of the actual stock levels dropped recently, and another 10% might be dropping next quarter. So it's very crucial the Nike and Jordan brand start listening to the consumers. And this is why I made this video, to actually highlight that there's loads of ideas out there that Nike and Jordan brand can actually adopt and go on to actually make sure that they bring the excellence. Next up, let's look at some other kind of creative ideas or futuristic ideas that Nike and Jordan brand can move into. So we looked at customizers. Maybe it's time we looked at AI and actual futuristic designs, because Nike and Jordan brand be leaning into the actual AI wave. And so it's important to realize that that's the actual wave they're going to actually lead into and actually design and actually bring sneakers. And we've seen that with the actual Paris Olympic stuff that they've actually produced. Some of the silhouettes, some of the colorways, some of the designs come from the AI. But also it's important to realize that sometimes you need that kind of authenticity from a human perspective to bring that creativity. This is why we looked at customizers first. So let's take a look at some of these aesthetics in terms of futuristic AI designs. And first up is this absolutely beautiful rendition of almost like a trainer vibe to this sneaker. This could be a cactus plant flea market kind of sneaker, and they could actually bring the Air Trainer 1 into that, or a variation of the Air Trainer 3 high. But this gives it more, I'm not even talking about the lights, I'm talking about maybe bringing some of that aesthetic of the sneaker back into it. This is more of an AI concept of the sneaker. There's other variations that go with this as well, where you can produce different colorways. You can even give it the lights, and I think there's a lot of people that actually adopt some kind of neon light effect and give it that futuristic, like cyberpunk vibe to the sneaker, which is a dope rendition. It's a dope concept to actually lead it into the 2077 kind of concept, which is cyberpunk, the game, if you actually played it, it is based on. And the next up is another AI variation. Looks very presto-y, looks very 97, 95, more of a presto kind of vibe to the sneaker, but it gives you a fusion of different colors, which is pink, teal, orange, and it all brings and kind of conceptualizes it onto that sneaker. I love it. I actually like the way it looks, and there's a placement for a swoosh possibly there. You can put the swoosh on the toe, you can put some aesthetics to that, but I do feel that this may be something that Nike should consider when they look at futuristic designs. And another one we're going to lead into is this basically design concept. It does look sleek, it does look more of a Nike-esque design layered on like an actual 97, but more on a like a presto type sneaker, which kind of conceptualizes a design aesthetic from one silhouette to another again, but it gives you range, it gives you a more breathability to do something else on a sneaker and a silhouette, especially when you kind of put air units and bubbles or react foam or zoom on that sneaker on the actual midsole, which gives it more of a comfortability factor. This could be a runner, this could be a casual sneaker, this could be a basketball sneaker. That is an absolutely dope design in my personal opinion. It could do really well, especially with the color blocking on that. Bringing, I think AI uses a lot of flair, a lot of pinky vibes, a lot of teal, a lot of orange, which is absolutely dope. And last but not least is this banger. It truly reminds me of a 97, a bit of that vibe of the 97 coming into that sneaker. The midsole looks unique, obviously. It could have React actual outsole, it could have a lot more different tech on that sneaker, but it looks like a dope runner. It looks like a casual, very casual sneaker. Love the color blocking. Like I said, AI tends to use teal, tends to use orange, tends to use aqua, and it basically redesigns the silhouette. Nike's definitely going down the AI route, and Nike definitely will be looking to bring different silhouettes. This could be an absolutely brand new silhouette, but this is very Nike-esque in my personal opinion. These two genres could actually revolutionize Nike and actually Jordan brand in terms of what they're producing, the customizations and actually futuristic designs. Now let's look at boutique designs. Let's look at what they should have done in terms of concepts that is out there in terms of boutiques and actual collaborators. So we looked at customizers and actual futuristic designs. Let's look at mock-ups. Let's look at some actual sneakers that were mock-ups that we were predicting to come out that actually didn't make the cutting table or kind of disappeared in terms of the releases. And let's actually look at sneakers that were produced in terms of customs or concepts that were supposed to come out but didn't come out. And moving first swiftly on to this variation, which is the Amon Meunier, that beautiful Amon Meunier that everybody thought was going to release the Amon Meunier 4, which didn't come out. The white variation, we got a photon variation which is similar to this, but everybody was waiting for that violet or inverse, which is more predominantly white than actual violet or, which is an absolute dope rendition. And I do believe this could absolutely bang if it did come out, and I do believe this is an absolutely beautiful color blocking and beautiful executed sneaker in the way it came. And a lot of UAs were producing this, but I do feel that if they do release this in the future, this should be and absolutely out the park. It will do numbers and it will just revive that Jordan 4 from what it's doing at this moment in time, which is sitting. Next up on this actual list is this banger. This is the Jordan 1, more of a Travis Scott bandana vibe, taking that SB4 and producing it onto that Jordan 4, which is absolutely dope. This is a customization. I can't remember who actually done this customization, but this is an absolutely beautiful sneaker. This is why I believe Jordan Brand and Nike need to lean on some of these customizers and take them in-house, because when you produce amazing colorways and silhouettes like this with the materials blocking and the ideas and the concepts, they could absolutely make a killing off this, because this is magnificent. This is epic, and I do believe if they release a variation like this, it's so unique that people will just gravitate to it. And that's my personal opinion, because I do believe that is absolutely amazing. Next up is something I do think that Travis Scott needs to do with Jordan Brand, which is a Jordan 3, which is absolutely fire. This is the olive variation of the Jordan 3. This is House of Heat's concept on the Jordan 3. If they actually produced a variation of the Travis Scott, I don't think it needs a swoosh. I don't think it needs anything except for that cactus jack on the tongue, and I don't think it's going to do anything else in terms of bringing anything extra to the Jordan 3. It just needs to have the cactus jack and the sycamore face at the back with the Jumpman or a Nike ear, and it will do numbers. And I do believe that's the move that Travis Scott might be doing in the next couple of years, and there'll be a fantastic variation, because there's also been a blue variation. We know that the Houston Oilers variation of the Jordan 4 actually released, and this is another concept, but this is absolutely amazing. Just bringing that actual UNC variation or Houston Oilers variation to the sneaker is fire, in my personal opinion. Next up is another variation that actually was UA'd a lot. We're not talking about UAs over here, but this is a UA sneaker that's actually been produced and released. But this is the Chicago variation of the Jordan 1. Instead of the Mocha, you got the Chicago, and forget the fragment of Jordan 1 Travis Scott. We have the actual Chicago variation, and this is a dead-on sellout. Absolutely everybody will be on this, and everybody will be loving this sneaker, in my personal opinion. Such a dope variation, such a dope rendition, and if they do release this, it's out of the park. This is how you revive the brand in terms of a silhouette. This is how you revive it, and this is how you kind of push that hype if you really want to do. And we're talking about the future of like Nike and Jordan Brand and what they should be doing. This is what I feel like Nike and Jordan Brand should be doing to satisfy the consumers, because this is the stuff that we've been asking for. This is the stuff that we want to see. This is the stuff that we want to kind of materialize in the future to actually give us some of that notoriety of very not limited but hype sneakers. This is not my cup of tea. I'm just giving you what I feel that the brands need to do. I will not be getting the Chicago actual variation of the Travis Scott. I love the actual original Chicago, but I do feel that this appeals to some people, and this appeals to a lot of people that love the Travis Scott range, because it does bring something else to the table. We haven't seen a lot of Jordan 1 high Travis Scotts. We've only seen 2 variations, and I think that's the next step. And shout out to Scott Simpson, because he's actually, me and him actually talked about this a lot, and it does feel like the next couple of years we will be seeing Jordan 1 highs possibly from Travis Scott. But there's a lot they can do with Travis Scott. There's a lot of concepts out there with Travis Scott on Travis Scott's name on it, so it's ideally a good look and a good thing that Nike and Jordan Brand can do with Travis Scott if they want to kind of revive it. And this is why I feel they need to listen to the consumers, because what we want is what we need to see that will influence the actual sneaker range, would actually bring more people onto the sneaker range in terms of Jordan and Nike. It's time Nike and Jordan Brand kind of listen to the consumers and bring something new and unique to the table that the consumers want, especially sneakerheads, because we want to see it, and we want to love to see it, and we want to actually grow with it constantly and see the, not even the hype, just special sneakers come back and just reignite our love for some of these absolutely beautiful concepts and actual customs that we keep seeing. Next up is a variation. I think this is from Johnny Kicks as well. This is dope. This is the actual Union Air Max 1, the actual Union variation of the Air Max 1 coming to the Air Max 1, which is absolutely fire. The Jordan 1 Union coming onto the Air Max 1, fire in my personal opinion. Love the way it's been executed on the Air Max 1, and it just makes sense. It just looks clean, it just looks unique, and this is bringing some of the colorways or the actual color blockings from another sneaker to the actual another silhouette, and it just kills it. There's another variation we talked about. This was another concept from Union, which we saw. This is a shadow, black and white shadow, which is another variation we didn't see. We saw another UNC variation that we didn't see. Maybe that will happen in the next couple of years, but this is another variation I think will absolutely sell out in my personal opinion. And last but not least, we actually saw a Jordan 1 low of that Union 1. Basically is another thing that Nike could do, or Jordan Brand could do. There's so many possibilities. I don't know why Nike and Jordan Brand don't look into their vault, or don't look into their collaborators and actually think maybe we should be doing this. Maybe they are hesitant to do it because it oversaturates, not like we're seeing that with Travis Scott because he's oversaturated the Travis Scott market, but it means that we kind of see more different variations from the brands, from Union, from Amamanier, from even Travis Scott, and it means that people start to love different ideas and concepts, and Nike and Jordan Brand are thinking outside the box rather than thinking in the box and bringing you GRs that kind of are sitting at this moment in time. That's my actual realistic thought on this, and I do believe they could do so much more to actually reignite the love for sneakers, and that's what it's currently on at this moment in time. I think a lot of people are not fed up, but it feels stale, and I feel like if it just reignites the love for actual sneakers, maybe it may mean more people start to fall in love with sneakers again and come back, even if it's hype. And sometimes a bit of hype is important when it comes to sneaker releases, and a bit of hype is important when it comes to sales, and I think that's the only way we are going to start to reignite that love for sneakers, is to bring some of that hype back, is to bring some of that exclusivity back. Not like we don't love it, not like we don't like it or hate it. It's kind of a mixed bag when you actually look at it, because it's important that you kind of have a fine-tuned balance, because you might kind of withdraw people with too much hype. So it's important that you have that balance within the actual releases to ensure that you get as much people on board with those releases. So the last thing we're going to look at is actual other colorways onto different variations of silhouettes, and maybe franchise sneakers in terms of other brands or other kind of movies that you can actually, or even animes you can actually kind of collaborate with to actually bring some unique sneakers onto the actual range. And first of all, we're going to actually look at this, and I do believe this will be absolutely dope in my personal opinion, bringing some of that Air Max 1 concept vibe onto the actual different silhouettes. Maybe a Jordan 4, maybe a Jordan 3, because they're quite similar to the Air Max 1s and Air Max 90s. And also you can get some of these concepts and bring them onto the Jordan 1 itself, which is absolutely dope. You can kind of mix and match, which is fire in my personal opinion, but you need to use some of these crazy colorways. And one concept I actually have seen is this, which is the Sean Weatherspoon Jordan 1, and it's like the actual variation we saw, another like the waffle we saw, the Sakai waffle. This is another House of Heat concept, which is absolutely dope. The corduroy coming onto that Jordan 1, and if it has a tearaway, you could do it onto a dunk as well. You can have a tearaway onto that sneaker, which is fire in my personal opinion. It just looks nice. Look at the midsole on that and the outsole on that. I mean, it looks fire with the pink, the grey, the blue and the yellow. It just bangs, guys. Sean Weatherspoon should come back to Nike and Jordan Brand and start doing stuff like this, because it is fire. There's so many good concepts out there, and I just believe that Nike need to start listening to the consumers, because sometimes the consumers are sometimes right, because we know what we want. Obviously we know what we want, and sometimes the consumers are right. It's good to bring stuff back. Like we talk about franchises, I've seen this concept of the actual Candyman dunk, which is absolutely dope. It is like a winterized sneaker, brown on that is absolutely fire. The bees on the back, if you know the Candyman and bees, you know her whole story. That is fire in my personal opinion. And we've also seen the actual Pokemon. This is the Snorlax Jordan 4. This is fire. The colorways are fire. You can bring some toys, you can bring some Pokeballs, you can bring the Pokemon cards to this, make it like what Asics did with the actual X-Men. There's so much you can do. And I've also seen Jordan for actual sneakers with Goku and Dragon Ball Z, which is fire. There's so much you can do, and I don't know why Nike just limit themselves to very not basic but generic, trying to be like, especially with the Jordan range, trying to bring some heritage back. And if you want to do some of this stuff, I do believe you can actually do this to actually dunk lows, SB dunk lows and SB dunk highs. I think Nike actually lean that way more with the creativity side of actual dunks, but you can actually bring some of this to Jordan 4, Jordan 3s, Jordan 1s, Jordan 11s, Jordan 5s. I've seen a Goku Jordan 5 which is fire, it's all orange with some blue hints. There is so much Nike Jordan brand can do. It's just disappointing when we kind of see what they can do and what they do produce, and this is why I do feel that there's a disconnect with the consumer, with Nike and Jordan brand at this moment in time. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you feel that Nike and Jordan brand should be doing going forwards, in terms of, do we kind of go back to concepts, or do we go back to mock-ups? Do we go back and look at actual customizers, in-house customizers that bring new ideas and revolutionize actual sneaker silhouettes? Do you feel that's the way going forwards, or do you feel like Nike and Jordan brand are doing a good job? We saw Nike and Jordan, especially Nike, lose 20% on the stock market recently in terms of what their actual stock shares are. That's, I think, is a little step back. I think they'll revive that over the next couple of years. This is a minor setback, and we've seen a downflux of that, and I think it's because of their new marketing and innovation tactic, which is actually causing that effect. It's all about cause and effect. I don't think this is long term. I think this is a short term, and it's a good time to invest in Nike shares if you are looking to invest in Nike shares, because it's only going to be an up market going forward. But do you feel like Nike should listen to our consumers, or do you feel that they're doing a good job? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your actual ideas. Let me know what you feel. I do feel Nike and Jordan brand should be doing more in terms of bringing some of these absolutely amazing customizers in-house, giving them their own lane and making them do what they need to do and actually let them breathe. And I think that could be the next revolutionary step. Instead of doing collaborations with brands and actual superstars, actually letting these customizers come in and letting it breathe and actually doing all these amazing designs and concepts, which is absolutely beautiful because it's refreshing. Because some of this stuff that we want is absolutely dope in my personal opinion, especially with the customizers that we saw on this video. They are absolutely phenomenal in my personal opinion. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your ideas, let me know your concepts, let me know what you feel that the brand should be doing moving forwards. And on that note, thank you for always showing love, thank you for always coming back, and thank you for always showing support, guys. But for me, TJ, I love Kit Customs. I hope you have an amazing week, amazing month, and an amazing year. And I hope you guys cop all the sneakers you want and customize all the sneakers you like, because you all deserve to get the sneakers you want, guys. For me, TJ, I love Kit Customs. Peace out for now, guys. Peace.